You're playing a game of Counter-Strike and suddenly your FPS drops below 60. This is less than half of what you normally get, and your fans are blowing louder than usual. And it's not because you changed any setting or downloaded any virus. It's because someone on the other side of the world added your computer to the largest crypto mining botnet in the world. Thousands of computers respond almost instantly, 14,000 to be exact, and just like that, you're running one of the largest botnets in the world. The numbers start climbing as more machines connect. Money is coming in, but it's quiet, really quiet. This isn't the kind of update you announce or mention in patch notes. You push it the way you push anything you don't want noticed, stuffed away into some general bug fixes and buried inside systems no one ever questions. You're trying your best at hiding this, especially from the people you work for. As long as nothing breaks, nothing draws attention. And as long as nothing draws attention, no one asks why thousands of GPUs are suddenly being overclocked the moment players step away from their desks. You see, the people you worked for at ESEA asked you to write a small piece of code. Nothing dramatic or malicious, at least not on paper. Just an innovative new idea. Something that could let users receive Bitcoin rewards inside of the ESEA client. A way to turn idle time into something productive. And it made sense because the anti-cheat you work on is already installed on thousands of players' computers. It's always running, and it's deeply embedded into the kernel of their systems. It sees everything, survives restarts, and doesn't ask permission. And that level of access gives you, the developer of the project, something most software engineers never have: total power. It's been 2 weeks since you pushed the update. The numbers don't lie, and the bitcoins flowing in are worth more than your salary at this point. But still, nothing. No alerts, emails, internal questions, or suspicion from your bosses. And your client keeps on running and farming. Every idle PC becomes a new part of your botnet, making you more and more Bitcoin. But then, you see a new post on the forums. In the past 2 days, I've noticed when my computer is idle, my GPU usage hovers at 90+%. Temperatures are in the high 60s, low 70s. That's hot for my card. And it turns out for the past 2 days, my computer has been farming bitcoins for someone in the ESEA community. Your stomach drops. Most users never even notice. They're in-game or not even at their PCs when the program is running. But the active ESEA player and forum member Oct does. Someone who knows what they're looking at. Oct didn't just find any regular malware or a virus. He found you. This video is sponsored by Skins Monkey. If you're looking to get new skins or trade in your old ones, Skins Monkey is the place to do that. With my code mattcstwo, you'll get $5 for free on your first trade and a 35% deposit bonus. If you're not into trading, they also have daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. So whatever skins you want, they probably have it. And with my code mattcstwo, you get a pretty nice discount. Alright, seriously? A rogue developer mining tons of bitcoins behind the back of his bosses? Well, that's the explanation that ESEA went with, but that's not really what happened. Before we even get into the fallout, we need to understand who ESEA actually was. Eric Thunberg, better known as LP Kane, and Craig Levine, better known as Torbull, were ESEA's co-founders, working together with Sean Hungzeg, better known as Jaguar, who was the lead developer of the project. Crucially, it was LP Kane and Jaguar who came up with the idea for the Bitcoin miner. LP Kane, who was already known as the Bitcoin guy on the ESEA forums, regularly participated in various discussions, including a thread posted by ESEA Angry about Bitcoin hitting $190. He comments on the posts, "I bought $500 worth of Bitcoin back when they were just trading at $5. He's talking about his enthusiasm for cryptocurrency in a Bitcoin thread 1 week prior to the scandal. Pretty obvious, right? Well, apparently not obvious enough, because when Casey Foster posts a tutorial on how to join his community pool for Litecoin mining, LP Kane comments this. And you wonder what the client does when you're not in a server. When things eventually started going wrong, it didn't begin with an announcement. It began with literal heat. Get it? After Oct posted about his GPU usage spiking while being AFK, other users started reporting the same thing. Their PCs were slowing down while their fans were speeding up. Near the bottom of Oct's thread, one user posted a single line that would explain why. dllhost.exe. As more people joined the thread to voice their concerns, a clearer picture formed. Users began reporting that, quote, ESEA client is launching a DLL that takes up 100% GPU usage after your computer is idle for 10 minutes. At this time, the issue was no longer theoretical. People found the name of the process and the moment it started acting weird, but didn't yet know why. Then, the lead developer Jaguar casually replied as if the forum found another bug. Quote, "Looking into it. Thanks." Not even 1 hour later, Scrappy Coco dropped what ESEA could no longer talk their way out of. Quote, "I dumped ESEA client.exe and found this. It is true that your GPU is being used as a Bitcoin miner. Here's a snippet from my ESEA client dump file." As you can see, the client started OpenCL Miner, which at the time was a very popular tool to mine Bitcoins using GPUs. LPK now responds with a thread of his own. LOL. That got aggressive quickly. Back towards the end of March, as Bitcoin was skyrocketing, Jaguar and I were talking about how cool it would be if we could use massive amounts of GPUs logged into the client to mine. We went back and forth about it, considering doing something for April Fools, didn't get it done in time, and eventually elected to put some test code in the client and try it on a few admin accounts, ours included. We ran the test for a few days on our accounts, decided it wasn't worth the potential drama, and pulled the plug, or so we thought. Fast forward to 48 hours ago, a fuck up in the client server results in a restart, which results in a setting getting changed, which enables it for all idle users. And here we are. And the results for 48 hours of your combined efforts? 2 Bitcoin, or roughly 280 USD at the current exchange rates. Not bad. And the responses are instant and hostile. Lol. And how are we exactly supposed to believe this? I'm sorry, but you're screwed, Kane. People have been getting virus and malware warnings for the past 2 weeks though. Good luck dealing with the legal implications of this. LP Kane's explanation was not holding up, and users immediately begin checking the timeline. Reports don't line up, and some users say their PCs were slowing down even weeks earlier. Others mention antivirus warnings and point out that the miner could not have ran for just 48 hours. LP Kane and Jaguar, now cornered, instead of trying to laugh it off, LP Kane's responses become defensive, and the community is not buying it. Roughly 2 hours later, LP Kane posts again. Bitcoin Part 2. This time, the story completely changes. The miner wasn't running for 48 hours, but instead had been active for at least 17 days. And the total mined Bitcoin wasn't roughly 1.9 BTC, but it was nearly 30. And at the time, it was worth $3,600, but in today's price, that's almost $3 million. LP Kane pledges the mined funds to the ESEA Season 14 prize pool, and every user is given 1 free month of ESEA Premium. A further apology follows, but by now the issue is no longer about money. It's about community trust, and that trust is long gone. The community didn't give a shit, and over 275 players' PCs were damaged to the point where 1 month of ESEA Premium couldn't patch it up. The community started a movement called Thanks LP Kane, showing off their broken computers, and at the height of it started a class action lawsuit that brought all the missing details to light. ESEA software was not seen as a Bitcoin miner and was legally defined as a malware. The software ran for a total of 18 days instead of the mentioned 48 hours. PCs were accessed even when users weren't playing, and the malware was coded specifically to activate mining Bitcoins when the users were away from their PCs. On top of that, in at least several instances, ESEA employees used the software to copy files from players' PCs to their own. All the mined Bitcoin profits went to Jaguar's personal bank account, and Jaguar was banned from conducting any Bitcoin-related business in the future. And finally, the state of New Jersey fined ESEA for a total of $1 million.